Good afternoon. I was impressed with the numerology information that you just gave on air.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was so odd that Sunday after the verdict was given, I sat down and thought about all the things concerning that trial, and I thought that it was significant that Zimmerman wasn't even arrested until 44 days
44. Yes, ma'am.
after the incident, which is the same number of the current president.
Right, that's right.
And I also wanted to...
Say that again, Mama.
Sir?
Say that again.
40? I said that he was arrested Zimmerman was arrested 44 days after the incident.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the same number of our current president.
That's right.
I thought that was odd. And I thought it was odd because most people associate Mark Twain's writings with things that we're required to read in school.
Right.
One of his works is called 44.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull it up on the internet. It's a quite intuitive reading.
Right.
But the main character, whose name is 44, is not a positive figure. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, yes.
He represents a very strange demonic force.
Okay.
And so I just thought that it was so relevant to me for me to hear you broadcast the numerology information. Of course, I did hear you last week make one of those items on the air myself when you said that you thought it was weird that the trial was handed over to the jury on 7-Eleven, which was the videotaping of what we see.
That's right.
The young man standing in the 7-Eleven store.
Right. Yes.
But, you know, when you add the dates 7, 13, 13 together, it totals 33.
That's right.
That's the same age Jesus supposedly was crucified at 33.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
So, you know, I don't know what universal truths are out there, but I kind of felt good that I was on the right wavelength on Sunday because when I heard your broadcast today, it kind of made me feel like I was thinking the right thing.
Oh, absolutely. Water seeks its own level. And I have so much information. I've been holding it saying, should I give it to the people? Should I give it to the people?
Right.
And, you know, of course, the universal God said, hold not back the truth when you know the truth. All right?
All right.
So thank you very much for checking in.
Have a good day.
Man. You do the same.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Bye-bye. And let me give you this article quickly as I come back to the line. Trayvon Martin's parents settle wrongful death claim, and I'm sure maybe perhaps when Brother Carlton Douglas comes on, who says you better get you some insurance, but you better check who the beneficiaries might be as well. Let me get into this, man. But again, this is from the Orlando Sentinel, April the 5th, 2013, but it really was last year that this was written. Trayvon Martin's parents have settled a wrongful death claim for an amount thought to be more than $1 million against the Homeowners Association of Sanford subdivision, where their teenage son was killed. Their attorney, Benjamin Crump, filed the paperwork at the Seminole County Courthouse, a portion of which was made public Friday. In the 5 pages of the settlement that were available for public review, the settlement amount had been marked out. Lower in the agreement, the parties specified that they would keep that amount confidential. Well, let's keep going here. I'm coming back to the lines. When asked during an earlier interview whether the amount was more than $1 million, Crump said, "I have no comment on that subject. I know you did not get that from me." And Trayvon was shot to death by neighborhood watch volunteer George Zimmerman at the retreat at Twin Lakes Townhomes in Sanford on February 26, 2012. Now, we were told he wasn't a neighborhood watch, but that he was the head of the neighborhood watch, not as a volunteer. But let's keep going. Says Zimmerman served as head of the neighborhood watch and called police that evening, describing Trayvon as suspicious. He has said that the teen attacked him and he fired in self-defense. The community association manager, Kent Taylor, he was never put on the witness stand, did not return phone calls from the Orlando Sentinel and the settlement. Neither did his attorney, Thomas Staten Jr. Here's another person, never put on the witness stand. Goes on, says Robert Taylor is a founding partner of Taylor and Carl's PA, a law firm that represents Homeowners Association but has no connection to the retreat at Twin Lakes, which is the home development where Trayvon was staying. When claims are filed, they're filed against anybody who could possibly have any culpability, he said. Trayvon's parents must have concluded that Zimmerman's Homeowners Association did, he said, thus the claim. In the settlement, the association did not admit any wrongdoing or liability. Taylor said his decision to settle was most likely a business decision. It's really nothing more than a risk versus reward analysis, Taylor said. The association's insurer, Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of America, filed suit in federal court in August, asking a judge to clarify its liability in the case, but that suit was dropped in November. Travelers is not a party to the settlement, the company said in a prepared statement. The settlement, which would have been with other insurers of the Homeowners Association or the property managers. The policy had a $1 million limit, according to a federal court record, and went into effect March the 30th, 2012, a few weeks after Trayvon was shot. Let me read that again. It went into effect March the 30th, 2012, a few weeks after Trayvon was shot. Trayvon's mother filed a claim with the insurer after it went into effect, according to the federal court records. During an interview in February, Zimmerman's attorney, Mark O'Mara, who, of course, was also the attorney that prosecuted the Casey Anthony case, O'Mara said Trayvon parents had tried to settle through mediation and the association or its insurer had offered $1 million. But Trayvon's parents had rejected that amount. So let me come back to the line, take a few more calls. You can read this. It's not coming from Brother Muhammad, but it's myself and Baba D. Gregory and maybe a few others have been saying there's more to this story. And over the next couple of days, I'm going to break even more of it down and go a little deeper regarding information that we know occurred in that complex and others that don't want to talk about what really went on down there. But let me come back to the line before we begin to wrap up. Good afternoon, caller. You on the State of the City.
Hello, Brother Muhammad. How are you?
I'm good, brother. Come
Very
on.
good, very good. My name is Cornelius Scott.
Yes, sir.
I'm just calling to touch bases with you and make sure folks are aware that the mother's murdered sons will be having an event this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
In Turner Station, and I wanted to holler at you, let you know they'd like to come on the show this Saturday.
Yeah, sure. Just call me off air after the show and the flow, and we can talk about it, brother. All right? But give me quickly the name and the place where it's taking place for those just listening.
I don't have that right in front of me.
Okay, call me after the show off air. All right?
Excellent.
Thank you, Brother Cornelius. Appreciate you checking in now. With that, let me take more of your calls before we wrap up. Good afternoon, caller. Lost you or you lost me. Give me a call back, 410-761-1592. I know some of y'all feel like I just dropped the lug on you. I just got all up into your medulla oblongata with this kind of information. That's why I said you always got to be willing to think outside the box, or as Taco Bell said, think outside the bun and ask questions and demand answers. Otherwise, as Malcolm X said, you be walking east when you think you're going west. You'll be walking north when you think you're going south. And, of course, you'll be socially engineered and steered by those just trying to use your emotions as opposed to use your devotion and put in, of course, using the ingredients of legislation, litigation, the communication, the confrontation, the mobilization, and then we got to have some organization as well, but you got to have information with implementation as well. But that, let me come back to the lines, 410-761-1592. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the State of the City.
God bless you, Brother Muhammad.
God bless you, brother. Question or comment?
Have you noticed that something else is that I'm looking at people who are hiding? There were people out all last week saying that Zimmerman was a Latina.
Right.
Well, like I've been telling people that the other half of him is Jewish.
Yes, sir.
I don't know too many Latinas with
Zimmerman.
with Zimmerman.
Yes, sir.
For last name.
Right.
The other thing is, how do you get? And we know how slick insurance companies are.
Right.
How do you get a policy on your child after he's dead?
Yes, sir. Well, those are questions we got to ask. We're going to have to ask Al Sharpton, because he was down there negotiating, and always looking for payoff.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to have to ask the Martin family as well, brother, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, none of this really makes any sense.
Yes, sir.
None of it.
All right, brother. Appreciate you checking in now.
All right.
We're just asking questions, brother, out of love, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you now. With that, let me take a few more calls, then we got to wrap up, get about here. For brother C. Douglas coming in. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the State of the City.
Hey, brother Aaron, how you doing today?
I'm good, brother. How are you, brother Aaron?
Fine.
Good.
You know, I noticed that they want to accuse us of attacking Hispanics in light of this Trayvon incident in Fells Point the other night.
Yes, sir. Well,
but I tell you, nobody's answered this for me.
Yes, sir.
What does this do to this so-called relationship we have with the Hispanic community, and why is it that it's a one-way relationship and nobody wants to talk about it?
Yeah, well, it's time for all of them to stand up, not just around the Trayvon, but again, the issue of racial profiling, because it's happened to blacks and browns from coast to coast. So they're going to have to really stand. And you got some sincere Hispanics that will stand with us, but you got some of the Al Blancos, the white ones that they try to project forward that won't stand for their own people, much less stand with ours, because they're more Americanized than they are in terms of being, again, blackanized or just being part of the human struggle.
And that's what gets me, especially with this Hispanic woman on the jury.
Yes, sir.
And I'm wondering...
Well, most of them was agents, too. I will be talking about that over the next couple of days. But that one that was on the other night with Anderson Cooper, and everybody know Anderson Cooper, that the down low gay CIA Anderson Cooper, who's been working for CIA. And if you listen to that interview, she kept calling him George, which lets you know she knows that's his code name in terms of being in the CIA, brother. All right? All right, appreciate you checking in. Right. Thank you, Brother Aaron. Yeah, but I'll come back if I get a chance. I'll get into that. But clearly, most of them were people who had just moved to Sanford, Florida, or they might have moved them there to put them on the trial. But, you know, you got to ask those kind of questions, and the information's out here right now. So let me take one more call, and then we're going to get up out of here and make way for Brother Carlton Douglas coming on behind us. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the State of the City.
Hello. I was calling
to
comment when they was talking about the Zimmerman trial, and they were saying like they was making a joke.
Yes.
Who was that?
Well, that was a clip that I was playing talking about was Trayvon Martin, death, a blood sacrifice. And that was a piece from Jon Stewart talking about Dick Cheney may have received the body parts of Trayvon Martin, in particular the heart. So that's what you heard playing, but it was a tape talking about that. All right?
Oh, I thought it was making a joke
about it. Wasn't them making a joke about it, but he was talking about it. Yes, ma'am. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Death is serious to all of us. Thank you, my sister. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for checking in. So with that, don't forget, family, we're still calling and demanding the boycott, and we got to fight for our young men, fight for our children, and don't forget, fight for the residents tonight at Perkins Homes for the hearing that's taking place at 5 o'clock, Councilman Carl Stokes' budget and taxation hearing that's taking place regarding, again, the issue of Perkins Homes, but most importantly, the Harbor Point development. So as we're wrapping up, let me quickly thank my sponsors. Got to thank Terra Cafe, 25th and St. Paul. Stop in, get you some lunch, get you some brunch. Tell them Brother Muhammad sent you. Let me also thank, of course, Charm City Chicken and Waffle Restaurant right there at 807 Washington Boulevard. Got to thank, of course, the Black Man and Woman's Country Club. You know them as the barbershops and the beauty salons. Lenny's House of Naturals, Park Heights Barbershop, the brothers down in the mall at Flair Hair, and the brothers at Johnny's G-Styles Barbershop and G-Style Boutique. So we'll be back here tomorrow at 12 noon. Stay tuned for Brother Carlton Douglas coming in with what's going on. So until tomorrow at 12 noon, be safe because the temperatures are still hazy, hot, humid, and hostile. But again, we're going to have a hostile gospel to deal with those that's being hostile. Till tomorrow at 12 noon, God bless. All the best. Look out for our women, look out for our children, look out for our elderly. And last but not least, look out for your animals and drink plenty of water. Until tomorrow at 12 noon, we'll podcast the show on Spreaker and on Facebook. Peace. The struggle became rain. When it rains, it pours. We stayed between liquor stores and praised the Lord, singing we shall overcome because we came for more. We were dancing for it to rain no more. Though hurricanes and waves, they came ashore, taking lives of the brave and poor. They'd ignore us once again, but it was lessons in the wind of change that came from within. So dance, little brother.